Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Our next guest, Honorable Nkiru, is a long-serving female legislator in the National Assembly. She has been in the House of Representatives since 2007. She is currently contesting for the speakership of the House of Reps, and she's here to tell us why she is the woman for the job, or if you like, the person for the job. Honorable, welcome to the morning show. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good to see you.
Good morning.
Quite a long time.
Good to see
Well,
you.
congratulations on your election. I mean, you just continue to win all the time. But now you want to be Speaker of the House of Representatives. First, let me ask you, I mean, in a polity where women don't always get a chance to retain their seats or to get elected, what's the secret of your staying power? I mean, this is about the fourth time you are being elected to the House of Reps. And why do you think you should be Speaker of the House of Reps? And do you think you really stand a chance in a male-dominated, patriarchal, environment, and with the party also saying this is the person we want?
Thank you, Mr. Ruben. Thank you for the opportunity. Number one question is, what's the secret? The one and only secret is God. Because when God says yes, no man can say no. And another thing is, who can battle with the Lord? And I say nobody. So that's why I'm here for the fourth time. And then having said that, why do I want to be Speaker? Number one, I want to be Speaker of House of Representatives because, number one, I am qualified. I've met all the criteria that I need to make to be the Speaker of 9th Assembly. I've been elected this time for the fourth term, and apart from that, I'm experienced. I've held several committees, and the recent one, and I'm still chairing, is Committee on Aviation. And of course, it's not just any committee. Even during my tenure as Committee on Aviation, you've seen that we had come through a lot of challenges. And of course, I am a woman, and I steer this committee, and I can beat my chest that I didn't do it any less. And of course, I have this experience from the executive angle. I was a commissioner in Abia State at the time, and I later became a local government chairman. And so in 2007, I was elected as member of House of Representatives, representing Isuku-Atumunochi Federal Constituency. I won my election in 2011, and I won in 2015. And here now I have won. And of course, I am also a member of All Progressive Congress. So this APC is a ruling party. And of course, I was PDP before. And what it simply means is that even from the party angle, we are a ruling party, we should produce the Speaker, and I am qualified to run for this office. And to say that, how do you intend to win in a male-dominated environment? Number one, I went to the same school with the boys when I was a girl, and nobody set any lesser question for me because I'm a girl. And I went to the same university, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Of course, I obtained my master's degree from a male, like the school that or the boys were attending. So at no point did anybody separate the fact that because I'm a woman, I'm not supposed to be in a class, okay? And so when I was running my election, nobody said, okay, you're coming from 22 wards, you're going to just contest for in 10, and then because you're a woman, you can't run election in 22 wards. And so running this race in a male-dominated environment, for me, doesn't really mean anything. It's about you being competent, it's about you knowing what to do, and it's about you being a Nigeria first. And so the male colleagues are my colleagues, And in the committee that I chaired, I can tell you that when that committee was inaugurated in 8th Assembly, there was no woman. I was the person who co-opted the women because we had just 20-something women out of 360. And the men that was in my committee, they are still men, and yet I presided. So this issue of male-dominated environment, for me, wouldn't apply because we are all equal when it comes to parliament. So there's no gender in parliament. But even though what is giving me advantage now is because I'm a woman, and so the women need to be heard. The women cannot continue to be at the background every time because we are the people that contribute more in the voting strength of any political party or any political regime or any election at every point. And so it is time for the women to be heard. And not just because I'm a woman, I'm running because I am qualified. And I still maintain that at no point did anybody give me any less responsibility because I am a woman. They have treated me like equals. They've treated me like a committee chair on aviation for 2 tenures. I was there in 7th Assembly. I'm still here, 8th Assembly, as the chair House Committee on Aviation. And at no point did anybody raise the issue of me being a woman. And that is why I am confident that I am qualified to run. And being qualified to run means that my colleagues who supported me all this way, because you can't even chair a committee if you don't have support of your colleagues. And so if they have supported me all this while, I don't see reason why they wouldn't support me to run for the position of the Speaker of House of Representatives. And you're also saying something about the party, or Progressive Congress. The party, prior to the zoning, I indicated interest that I want to be the Speaker. And when the zoning came out, I sat back, looked at all the issues surrounding the zoning, and I came out to say, well, the party is like my father. We are 6 children. And my father just woke up one morning and gave the first son everything he had. And okay, suddenly remember that there's another person, gave the second son, the 3rd daughter, the 4th daughter, and then leaving the 5th and the 6th. And then we are coming together to say, please, sir, daddy, we are 6. You've just given 4. And out of this 6 that is left, you're even saying that the person that have number 2 should also have number, the 5th one that is remaining, and the 6th, and so on and so forth. And we are saying, no, daddy, please, you have to come back to us. We are your children. Accommodate us in this sharing because we are your children. That's why we're saying the APC as a party should revisit zoning. That because Nigeria, we are all involved. And mind you, when my chairman spoke at International Conference Center, he said that they were going to include all the zones. Even when the president spoke after collecting his certificate, he said that he's going to run an all-inclusive government and that everybody, he will accommodate everybody. And even went a step further to say that women are going to have a place in his government. And so this is where we are. We are still in the month of May. And I believe that the party will revisit zoning to accommodate the women, to accommodate Southeast, to accommodate North Central.
Your appeal was directly to your colleague, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, to step down in the national interest, by which I assume that you mean the underrepresentation of the Southeast. But my question refers to your analogy of the partial father. Why is it that these facts are self-evident, and yet the party did not zone this seat to the Southeast. And in your specific case, you decamped from PDP just a year ago. You were able to get the APC ticket. You were able to win APC the seat. You were able to help APC make inroads into the Southeast. You have brought value to that party. Why is it that he was chosen and not you? Why were you not rewarded for your efforts? That's
the big question that the party need to answer. And I'm asking that particular question because I also know that the Southeast did better in 2019 because people like us said, no, please, we can't continue to be at a particular place or do the same thing the same way and expect this different result. And the Southeast improved from what they did in 2015. And in 2019, they were able to give 25% in most of the states, which means that Southeast have contributed critically to the election of our president, President Muhammad Buhari, because if those 25% spread did not come from Southeast, maybe he wouldn't have been president. So we made him win because we contributed to the spread. And having said that, I wouldn't know why the party would choose my leader, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, knowing fully well that Southwest has produced the vice president. That's why I said in my press briefing that Femi Gbajabiamila is a gentleman. He is the leader of the House as I speak, that he should, as a leader, advise the party properly to say that every zone must be represented. It's not even a matter of maybe stepping down or no stepping down. A leader at every time should be able to pay sacrifice, even if it means giving up whatever the leader have. And to add to this, the party should also respect the principle of federal character. And with your kind permission, if you will allow me to read Chapter 2, Section 14, Subsection 3 of Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with your kind permission, I read. It says, the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and the need to promote, I have to highlight this, national unity. And also to command, I underline this, national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or other sectional groups in that government or in any of its agencies. And so, if you look at this, the party should have known that every zone must be represented because it is not issue of whether the people voted 100% or whether they gave 25 or whether they gave 40. It is matter of justice according to law. And once anybody wins, like after I won my election, everybody in Isukwatu Munochi Federal Constituency, they became my constituents, including the person that ran against me. I mean, that's leadership. And so once somebody emerges like a president, all Nigerians are your people. And so it doesn't matter whether even the people did not vote you or whether they voted you. The truth of the matter is that you are president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so in sharing, every zone must be represented. So we're not asking anything that is out of place. We're not asking anything that will make people, we are not twisting anybody. We are saying, go back to the Constitution and obey the law because this is the law of the land.
Well, the party makes a case that, there are many appointments to be made and that will be put into consideration. But let me ask you, are you against party supremacy? because your party makes a case that the party is supreme and what the party says is final. It also says that there was wild consultations. So at that level of consultation, why didn't you bring up your objection? And just last week, we had the spokesperson of your party on the show, Larry Saunilu, who says you cannot distort processes, and that from the democracy which Nigeria copies, which is the United States, it is only natural for the leader of the House to proceed to become the Speaker of the House.
Anyway, we have, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know where somebody would say because somebody is a leader of the House, that the person will proceed, assuming the zoning did not favor him. Because I've also heard him say if they did not zone to Southwest, he wouldn't run. So if they had zoned to Southeast, would he have run? That's the question. And another thing is this. I believe in party supremacy. And that is why, as we speak, we are still talking to the party that they should revisit the zoning that they have just done. And that was why last week, precisely on Saturday, the Southeast APC caucus told the party that they are not happy with the zoning, and they asked the party that they are pleading with them to revisit the zoning. And that's why I'm still, as I speak, I am telling them that they should also go back to the drawing board, because the truth of the matter is that we cannot be seen to be disobeying Constitution. And you saying that they said that there are other positions. Yes, there are other positions, but the first 6 positions, everybody should be accommodated to ensure national unity, to ensure this compromise of inclusion, because you have to compromise certain things to make sure that every zone, there are agitations in all the 6 geopolitical zones of this country. And so we do not want to do things that will make people to agitate more. Do we lose anything by giving Southeast a speaker, or zoning to South a speaker? In 2015, what the party said was because that there was no ranking member from Southeast geopolitical zone, that they would have given us a speaker. And so what is happening now? Can you speak from both sides of your mouth? Now you have a ranking person, not just that the person is ranking, the person have contributed to the fortune of the gains of the party from Southeast geopolitical zone. And I mean, so there won't be any cogent reason for Southeast not to produce the Speaker of 9th Assembly.
Well, Honorable Yojosha, let me ask you 2 quick questions. We have had some of the persons contesting for the office either of the Senate President or the Speakership of the House of Representatives talk about their agenda. If you were to win, what would be your agenda? And then the point about this dominance of patriarchy in Nigerian politics. From your experience, what do you think is the biggest challenge that a female politician faces? Because we have seen a reduction, even in representation at all levels, after the 2019 elections.
Well, if I win, one thing that I'm assuring the executive is this, that the 9th Assembly will collaborate with the executive to move Nigeria to the next level. I will ensure that. And of course, we know, I have been in the parliament and I know what our problems are. One thing that makes the executive to feel that maybe the parliament is not supporting them is when we raise questions. So we are going to enlighten them to know that these questions that we raise at every point is to enlighten Nigerians, is for them to provide answers. And of course, nobody will have me as a speaker, then you don't emphasize on oversight. Our oversight will still be very strong, because there is no way we will run a parliament that will not be accountable to Nigerians. And that's why if you go to National Assembly every day, you see a lot of Nigerians protesting. What are they protesting for? As a Speaker of 9th Assembly, I will find a way to ensure that we are proactive to the protest of Nigerians, to the gates of National Assembly at all levels. Because what it simply means is that we are 360 members of House of Representatives, and 360 of us belong to one constituency or the other. So we are the people that are most closest to the people. So before even the agitation comes to protest, the members would have known what those agitations are. And if we're able to solve those issues with the executive, of course, because there's no way we will work in isolation. The parliaments must work with the executive, including the judiciary. And so once this is done, a lot of things would have been put in place. And of course, the issue of budgeting, I would propose that the executive, at every point, even as we are passing budget now, that they should bring the budget for 2020 on time, and they should be able to liaise with the parliament to know what they are bringing and to ensure that the medium-term expenditure framework is working. Because if it's working, we won't have rancor on at every budget session. Because what it simply means is because you are representing the people, you are aware of the problem, you are aware of the projects, you are aware of the budgets. So everybody will be on the same page. So there won't be too much gap in the executive presenting the budget and then in parliament scrutinizing it. Most times, even when we give them our own report based on what we see on the field, they may not accept it and they will just sit down and do their own. But the Ninth Assembly, we are going to work assiduously with the executive to make sure that everybody is in the same page. And the second question about how the return of especially female members have gone low is very simple. It's because of godfatherism. It's because people do not even understand what a parliamentarian should do. They believe, most Nigerians believe that a parliament should run for like 8 years, 2 tenures, like they do for executive offices, without knowing that a parliamentarian can stay there as long as the people chose. But for people to choose, they should also even understand the workings of the parliament or a legislator. That a legislator is not a governor that will serve for 2 tenures, 8 years, and that's it. And let me tell you one example that I keep telling my people. When I came in 2007, by 2008, I had like 7 bills that I wanted to sponsor and push for assent. Out of those 7, it was 3 that got to the 3rd reading stage. And when they took it to executive, for some reason it was not assented to. I don't know at what point they got it wrong. Number 1 is this compulsory treatment of gunshot wounds. Number 2 is anti-torture bill. Number 3 is senior citizen center. If you look at the records, those bills were introduced in 2008. And then when I came back in 2011, I brought them up and continued de novo. So assuming I didn't come back, this anti-torture bill wouldn't have seen the light of day, because maybe somebody who had come may not even have an idea what it is or the passion to make sure that it becomes law. And then when I brought it in 2011 and it started de novo, then it was not even assented to. By 2015, I brought it back again. Even while I was bringing other bills, it was a passion that how will people be victimized, be tortured, to agree to crimes they did not even know of from experience. If a crime is committed here, 2 hours after, the security agencies may come here and pick anybody, and they take the person and they start touching the person. You can, by tomorrow morning, somebody will say, yes, I committed the crime, while, of course, the person did not even know about it. And so when I brought it back in 2015, and I can tell you that it was in December 2017 that the president assented to it. So for me, this 12 years, it's not in vain. It would have been in vain. And that's the work of a legislator. How about the witness protection that I started sponsoring from 2008? As we speak, it's on a stage of concurrence. Witness protection is about who killed Riwani, who killed Elegiwa, who killed all these people. People knew who killed them, but they're not going to say because the government is not going to protect them. So that bill is talking about protecting witnesses that will come and give security agencies information as to commission of crime. And so the compulsory treatment of gunshot wound, you see that today, if people, maybe a stray bullet, maybe armed robbery attack or anything, you go to the hospital before this accident, they will tell you to bring police report. And I know that many citizens have died because of those issues. And the president assented to it. So what am I trying to say here? It's simple. If you do not keep re-electing your legislators, you will begin to lose a lot of things, even in terms of project. Because the project they are attacked and they are pushing and pushing the executive to implement it. When a new person comes, the person might not even care. Because he said, okay, if I go and do it, they will say it's Honorable Nkiru's project and all that. So the Nigerian citizens must know that parliament is not about executive office where it's not tenured. So we should understand that first before we come to issue of them re-electing people. It's because they don't understand. That's why they keep changing and changing and changing. And then for the women, we are like, oh, we were 20-something before. We dropped to 30-something. We dropped to 20-something. From 20-something, now we are less than 12 as we speak. Simple. It's because in party formation, the only position they will leave for a woman is woman leader. When we have competent, responsible women who are holding swears in every other place, and it's even these women that you will even campaign for these men to even win. Check the presidential campaign. Check the governorship campaign. There's no way you see people that you don't see most of the women. They are more in number. They are more committed. They are more resilient. They are more caring. And when it comes to position, then you become a woman. So in party formation, because all the men have taken the position, only one woman leader. If you come to National Working Committee and you put anything to vote, just one voice. If you're able to lobby somebody sitting by her right hand side and somebody by her left hand side, in a National Working Committee, you have maybe 12, 10. These only two people by the side will say, listen to Madam Woman Leader, because she's pushing for these women to be included. They will say, okay, let us put it to vote. And you know men that are smart when it comes to that. It happened to me when I was in Sister Assembly, when I was a member of a Constitutional Review Committee, when we are pushing for inclusion of women participation in political parties. All the people that we lobbied are accepted. Once it got there, they cited Constitution. There shall be no discrimination against sex, and this and that. So they used it to kill all what we have lobbied for. And so, because the women are less represented, they don't give us chance even in working committees. They don't even appoint us or elect us to be a chair of any political party.
Honorable, if I may come in here, I'd like to stay.
Yes, you can.
I'd like to stay on the topic of legislation, please, and your agenda if you do become Speaker. What is your planned approach to important pending pieces of legislation, like the Petroleum Industry Bill and its offshoots? You've already mentioned efficacy in budget passage, but what is your approach to the other pending legislation?
Oh, yes. The approach is very simple. From day one that the Parliament will start, we bring those bills back and make sure that the committees are set on time so that they will get to work. And we give timeline. There must be timeline to legislation. We are not going to allow people to just derail, or some outside forces to derail legislation. And so if we tag timelines to processes, it will bring result. Because even when I declared, I said that there must be timeline to measure input and output. And so once you do that, with it, you have a time frame. We can say in 6 months that we must pass these critical bills so that we will be able to affect the life of Nigeria and even the economy of this country. So timeline is very, very important. It's not like, okay, you're going to start, like these bills, they started from previous assemblies. So Ninth Assembly must ensure that there is timeline that people who have been elected should also know that they have come here to do work, and the executive, even when we call them for public hearings, they should stop giving us excuses. Because there are some ministries that when you call somebody and say that...
time. So you've said while you're still pleading and negotiating with your party to see reasons with you on why you should become the next speaker. Briefly tell me, what has been the reception within your colleagues? I mean, the last time we checked, we're told that Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila has over 170 lawmakers already on his side.
Well, I'll tell you, my sister, those are numbers for politics. You see, most people who lost the election will tell you, oh, that they've won. It's a matter of time. And so for me, I know that the reception from my colleagues are overwhelming. And of course, to begin to count numbers now will be just, it will be diversionary. Because somebody may even be counting me as one of these 170-something numbers. And somebody may be counting Honorable Babangida, Honorable Bago, Honorable, well, so many of us as one of the numbers. And of course, the thing is this. In an election, you do not say it's over until it's over. So we will keep consulting, we'll keep talking to our colleagues. We know that the election will come in June. My sister, we are in May. A lot of things can still change. And I'm a believer, my name is Nkiru. Tomorrow is greater. So even the number I have today, even if I have 200, I'll be aspiring to have 300. Because I want at least 90% of the legislators to vote me as the next speaker, so that at least they will be part of the process of change.
Well, Honorable Nkiru, I admire your determination, your passion, your optimism, and your confidence. But I hope you are aware that leaders of your party have said that whoever does not toe the party line will be sanctioned and may even be expelled from the party. But that's another matter. Let me ask you, you've been chairman or chairperson of the Aviation Committee. And in Nigeria at the moment, we have serious problems in the aviation industry. Either the aircraft are not in good shape, or the quality of service is abominable, and yet Nigerians are just helpless. The routes are not safe. They want to travel by air. They cannot. What, from your own experience, what exactly do you think the government can do to raise the quality of the aviation industry?
Well, let me say this. The aviation industry is very critical, and what the government can do is to look inwards. There's AMCOM that have taken over ARIC. They should look inwards and begin to get this report to the level of implementation. Even for, we have had a lot of reports concluded from our committee. The government should pick those reports and look inwards, because if you want to go to East now, you have only APs, only once in a day, and look at the traffic. If you want to go to Lagos today, you will probably spend a whole day. That's why a lot of people are going by routes, and of course, the security on our routes. And you see, even from Dana report, there are some recommendations that we made as committee, because I was chairman of Aviation and 7th Assembly. Government should go back and bring those reports. Our problem is in implementation. If they look into those reports and implement the recommendation that we have done, within months, things will change. And of course, the NCAA should be up in their oversight, because, aviation is a serious regulated agency. And in as much as there's all these lapses, safety is very, very important. Even if we have two airlines operating, the bottom line should be that it must be based on safety of those airlines. And of course, the operators are complaining about funds and all that. And of course, you know that at the time the government intervened in aviation and released some funds, which the operators then mismanaged it. So, I mean, the answer is in those reports that we have made. The government should call the Minister of Aviation to pick those reports. It should be part of the things they should discuss in Federal Executive Council. So once they begin to implement the report, based from Dana report till date, then Nigerians will have a better face as regards aviation sector.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Nkiru Onyejocha. We wish you all the best, and we pray along with you that tomorrow indeed will be greater. Thank you very much.